So Friday night on Rampage, we're also going to get some kind of Taya Valkyrie match. I do not know who it's against because I completely forgot. Do you remember?
Mm. uh,
Either way, she's going to win, and
feel
she's
like
going to
they
win
showed it
fast.
on the graphic. Yeah,
Be-
she's gonna beat somebody.
And it's all going to be in the purpose of pursuit of their story with Jade because we had a Jade video. Because that's about all we get.
Yeah, yeah. Jade's just mad because Ty be using her shit, or at least Jade thinks it's her shit. But Ty has been wrestling forever. Um, but
This,
Mark Sterling, his nose is all messed up, so he's got an assistant now, and she's gonna be the one that's gonna be there when Taya uses Jaded on Friday because she's definitely gonna use it.
yeah, and they're going to sue Taya. So basically the same threat.
Yeah. Hey, Mark Sterling he stays consistent, okay? He makes sure that nobody gets over, all right? Can't get over on him. Can't do it.
Although I feel like everyone in the world's gotten over on him. Man, it's like
I
you
mean,
got me
he's
to
had a couple
cheer.
people get over.
You got me to actually be happy for Wardlow when we finally got to see Sterling take a power bomb.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's what I said. He's gotten people over. He's just nobody's going to get over on him. That's all.
So, of course, this ended up happening right before the women's match on tonight's card because they like to throw everything's women related into like one 15-minute block. And that's it.
Well, I mean, we had some rock hard juice in between, at least, to cool us off. But yeah, pretty much. They were like, women's segment. We'll throw a segment with a man in there real fast in between, and then women's segment.
Because Juices was definitely one of those like 30-second, like just talking
Yeah.
at the camera promos. But then we got to Ruby versus Willow. Let's
They
just
should have built up to this match.
let's just knock the result of this match out of the way first because it's obvious which way this was going. Ruby was winning this match.
Yeah.
The reason I was saying that is because now we just get to blatantly complain about all of the things that this did to piss us off.
Yeah. So first off, Willow and Ruby work well together. So it was a solid match here. But there should have been some kind of build to this. As AEW gave us these two as a tag team and we all loved it. And we all loved it. So them splitting could have actually had a story to it. But no, there's no story to it. It's just Ruby has gone heel and her and Willow can't be friends anymore.
Like, literally, all you had to do in the last few weeks was have a video of them having like a face-to-face interaction backstage, one-on-one, or something like that. But there should have been more of a story than just small little things that you saw when the two groups brawled or whatever. Like, they should have been something.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been a lot more. Because this was definitely the kind of match that you could have got us hyped for. Like, there should have been a promo somewhere in there at the very least, just to reiterate for everyone, because instead of having commentary tell everyone all night, oh yeah, Willow and Ruby, they were a tag team, they were friends, they were a tag team, they were friends, it would hit much harder if you had them deliver promos, especially with Willow's. Just like, she doesn't have to say much, just like her facial expressions are perfect. Like, heartbroken Willow will break everyone's heart.
Not only that, so we talked about the whole Jamie Tony situation where their whole promo battle was we used to be friends, and we hated it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who
Mm-hmm.
could actually pull that off and make it work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Willow.
As I said, Willow. If someone can make that work, that's Willow. Because it's very believable that her character would just be heartbroken.
You do that to a character like her who is so normally positive and happy, it makes sense. It works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now that complaint
Let's
number,
talk about the match.
I was gonna say now that complaint number one's out of the way,
Yeah. Because, yeah. But just solid wrestling throughout, of course, because Willow and Ruby are both really good. I feel like Willow has been putting a little extra into some of her moves.
that Death
Like
Valley driver.
that Death Valley driver. Put that hit up, night up. That was one of the nastiest Death Valley drivers that I've seen in a while.
Which
Like,
we've talked about that. Her power bomb and her gut wrench is one of the better gut wrench power bombs I've seen. But ooh, that Death Valley driver.
that Death Valley driver was gross. And her spine buster right before that was crazy. And I didn't even care after seeing the Death Valley driver because that was so good.
The pounce.
Yeah. She pounced Ruby half the ring.
So hard that Ruby basically hit the ropes that came right back at her.
Yeah. Yeah, like she probably wasn't supposed to bounce back into the ring, back into her there, and they just had to go with it. But just the size difference between these two just made everything Willow did look incredible.
I will say this, over the course of the match, besides the action, they really did work on the story of Ruby trying to play to their friendship and doing the heel tactics, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah. You had the other heel tactics, like early in the match, Willow was hung up in the ropes. Ref got distracted. Saraya popped up on the apron and hit her with like 8 knee strikes. And then Saraya went to do it again later, but Willow figured it out, backed out, and laid her out.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah,
told a
Willow's
story
getting
with the
hers.
match.
Willow's definitely getting hers in this. Like, she kicked out of 2 of Ruby's finishers.
Sort of, because that's what her finisher used to be, but it's not her primary finisher now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was the no future, the kick, but now she does the whole Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail, Destination Unknown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that.
Because she went for that later.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Yeah, Willow did look really fucking strong, though. But here we go. We're about to get to my least favorite part, and that is AEW is really getting on my nerves, making the referees look just idiotic. Like they have no idea what's happening at any time. Why do you even have referees in AEW?
They got involved like
the
4 times, 5 times. It was crazy.
Yeah. And Aubrey just watched it. And then Aubrey's usually the ref that doesn't take shit. And she watched it happen multiple times and just was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So
like usually you at least kick them out. Like you're banned.
right, or for a long while they had different characters within the referees. Like Bryce Remsburg was the one who he would miss a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You had Rick Knox, who was typically so like overwhelmed because he was in the tag teams and the trios matches. Aubrey was the one who stood up and took no shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was like, that didn't really make sense because Aubrey has a character herself. And it didn't make sense for Aubrey to just be like, yeah, whatever, go ahead. Like, that's not Aubrey.
Because well before the end of the match, there was one time where after she was distracted, she turned around and you could clearly see in her reaction she knew something was up, but she also knew she had to get back to refereeing. But at that point, like, there's no more excuses.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause, yeah, I was just like, oh, come on, man. So she saw the interference before. This time she knows something happened, but she's just like, yep, I just got to count.
Because I knew it was bad news when Willow started to go, not necessarily a top rope, but she was on the turnbuckles.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, usually when
That's
the
that's
bigger,
where the main
powerful
counter goes.
wrestlers start to go up there, there's a counter, right?
Hmm.
Tony gets distracted,
Yeah,
pulls on her
always
feet.
counter spot.
Ruby rolls her up, puts her feet on the ropes. Tony holds her feet down, and they cheat to win.
Hmm. And like, I guess Aubrey did her best with what they gave her. She made sure to not look up at all, but she should have very clearly saw it. It's just like they got to do. I don't know. They got to work on the positioning of the referees or something, because there's way too many spots like that
And,
that happen frequently where you're like, but the ref just saw that.
and it was just
Mhm.
the amount of times it happened in this match. It was excessive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause, yeah, I did that more than once during the match, and I said, but the ref saw that. I'm like,
Um,
well, all right.
so after the match show, they decide to keep going after Willow, and they grab a chair, and they're about to sideline and injure your favorite person in the world by wrapping that
Yeah.
chair around her ankle.
I will fly to Missouri, mother. Shit. I will catch the first flight to Missouri.
But instead, Rio and Sky Blue choose to run out, and they get their ass whooped by the three outcasts. So it doesn't even really matter.
Dude.
Them holding up Riho to be spray painted again after they tried is so ridiculous because the size differential. It should not look like a struggle to hold her or anything, and it really did it. But then the women's champ came out.
Yeah. There we go. We got a good moment for Jamie here.
No
Because,
Brit. She did it all on her own.
yeah. Yeah, Britt was busy getting ready to celebrate with Adam Cole later.
It wasn't too much later. It was the next match.
That was immediately after. Yeah. But yeah, Jamie whooped all their asses, cleared everybody out. Love that they made her look strong here.
And then their little
But
standoff with Rio.
yeah, the standoff with Riho at the end, with Jamie like up here and Riho down here. And like, if you guys fought for real, Jamie would eat you alive.